Hello everyone, the Kentucky Patriot here, out on the range today. We want to do some shooting, maybe a little bit of demonstration with a 20 gauge. And the reason I specifically wanted to target this is because if you're defending your home with a 20 gauge, or this is what you have, I think most people will agree that if you have slugs or buckshot, 20 gauge is very capable. But what if you don't? And if you've watched this channel, you've seen my videos, we've pretty much demonstrated time and time again with the 12 gauge that slugs and buckshot is more than capable. We've used all different kinds of buckshots and buckshot rounds, I should say, and it's more than capable. And between my real world experience and my line of work, I have seen, unfortunately, several shootings with birdshot with 12 gauge. So we can pretty much say that slugs, buckshot, and birdshot is totally effective with 12 gauge. But what about 20? Like I said, slugs, buckshot, yes, but I don't know how it is around your area, but slugs and buckshot in 20 gauge configuration hasn't been on the shelves or hasn't been available in a long time. So what about 20 gauge birdshot? Will it be effective for you and your family for home defense? Is it a good choice? We're about to put that to the test today. And I'm trying to persuade you or not persuade you, but I just wanted to try to bring you as realistic results as I can, because a lot of people do choose to go 20 gauge. The recoil is a lot less, especially like in this Remington 870 youth model. It's got a pad here. I think it's youth model, I forget what it is, but it's my son's gun. I have to go back and look now, but it's got a pad on it, very easily, light recoil, easy to bring up, shoot. And a lot of people do that, whether they're a small frame woman or they're a fellow that's maybe getting a little bit of age on them, maybe getting a little older, maybe has some shoulder problems. You can, the management of the recoil is so much easier on this. And what if a 20 gauge is what you have? It's what you're defending your home with for whatever reason, as I mentioned, or over penetration. You live in a place where you got neighbors in close proximity or whatever, and you're a little bit leery of where your bullet's going to go if you're using something like an AR or an AK platform. So you've got a 20 gauge and you want to see how birdshot will perform. Is it enough? Is it capable? Because you don't want it to go through a lot of walls like maybe a bullet would. And of course this gun does have 2 3/4 or 3-inch capabilities, but we're just going 2 3/4 what I can find available. Like I said, 3-inch slugs and buckshot hasn't been available readily, and I don't remember when. So that's all you can find, and that's what you're using for 20 gauge. We'll put it to the test. Something similar to what Paul Harrell does. We're going to have a 2 layers of denim with pork ribs, meat target. Then we're going to have a water jug, meat target on the back, which is more pork ribs, 2 layers of denim, and then we're going to tape it all together, and we're going to see how she performs. Now, there's all kinds of varieties, and people are going to say, why didn't you use 5-shot? Why didn't you use this? Why didn't you use that? This is all I had available to me. Now, every now and then you'll go to different stores and maybe find different things, but we went to a big box store and they had no slugs, no buckshot, no variety whatsoever, but they had pallets of these. And this is steel shot, which I know some of you may or may not want or may not like for home defense, or said I should have used this, I should have used that. But the reason I specifically bought this was because this is what they had. So if I had just had a 20 gauge or just purchased it recently and I went to the store to buy something, all these other varieties wasn't an option for me. So I literally bought what they had, and this is a 20 gauge 2 3/4. It's a 3/4 of an ounce. Number 6 shot, and the velocity advertised is 1325, which I know barrel lengths do matter, but most of the time people go for a shorter barrel. It's not your hunting shotguns, typically what they use for home defense. But anyway, this is what I'm using today, and it says expert high velocity steel shot. This was all they had. This was the only option I have. So if this is what you've got, let's see how she performs. And I want to do my best just to bring you honest, unbiased information as I can. I'm not trying to talk you in or out of anything, but literally I've heard comments on birdshot as they literally won't do anything. I've heard that before. In home defense, birdshot is useless, it won't do anything. And then I've heard people on the other side say it's more than enough. And like I said, we just try to bring you demonstrations, so to bring you information that you can make up your own choice in your own mind. But I try to bring a real world scenario, so that way you can have good information instead of what you heard or what you think, because I want you to have real results instead of just going by, well, I think that's enough, or that may not be enough, or I heard this one say or that one say, and kind of delete the hearsay out of it. Because shotguns are a great choice for home defense, but every round and every caliber is not the same, or gauge I should say. But just like on the 410, A slug, if you look on paper, it's fantastic. You think, man, that was great. I wasn't impressed with the results of the slug at all. But when we tested the PDX1 rounds, of course, they were in the 3-inch shell. They were out of this world. When we tested the triple-aught buck, they performed fantastic. So I would not recommend Birdshot for a 410. And I'm not trying to, put a damper on this video or come off as rude. But if your comment is you talk too much, and you don't have a channel, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but here we come out a lot of times and we try to bring information, we try to explain things, we try to show people results, we try to, kind of bring you up to why we believe what we believe or say what we say or the test that we're trying to run. So if your comment is you talk too much, you probably just got the wrong channel. So anyway, for the rest of you that's still here, appreciate you watching. 20 gauge Birdshot. Let's see what happens to this target here. I'm probably somewhere in the neighborhood, I did not measure, of 8 to 10 feet. And I know we can move up or back, but if I move back 2 feet, I don't think the results are going to make that much difference. I want to get a good shot with a good pattern, and let's see what happens here with this target. I made sure the gun was clear. I put my gun up so I could have both hands here, but we did not touch anything. This is as is. The initial blast was really, really good. Let me show you this. This is the denim, 2 layers, and what it is, it's a pair of pants that I have cut. So it's one pair of pants, but it's 2 sides to the denim. I hope you can see what I'm talking about here. But here is the front, or probably the back, I would say, and here's the front. That's what it looks like. But you can see that there's a good wound channel right here. And if you don't care to come in and take a look at this, I did not touch this. Look here. Look here. Now this is your rib cage, represents ribs of a person or animal, whatever. But in a home defense situation, this is somebody that's just wearing typical clothing. This is the ribs in the front. And again, this is just Birdshot. This isn't a double-aught buck. This isn't a slug. Here is the water jug. Now what this water jug represents, it even ate a stick there. We'll throw that out. What this water jug represents is basically your vital organs. And I know this is obviously not the same exact consistency as your vital organs, but we don't have very many volunteers in my demonstration, so we got to use what we can get. Well, this water jug just basically holds the water, which your basic general makeup of a human body is mostly water. So you can see here, I mean, this absolutely pulverized this milk jug. And you can see the little pellets hit. Probably a lot of them didn't penetrate completely to the other side, because you can see, I don't know how good the camera could pick up, a lot of indentions that didn't make it all the way through, but there was still enough force and power to open this up, so some obviously did come through. Now we are going to, here's the rib in the back. I want you to take a look at this. Nothing on this side of the rib. So it did not have a complete pass through, but on this side of the rib, little shot right there, a few little Birdshot up here, but it looks like it took a pretty good lick right here. So it's not going to over penetrate, but as you can see, that's a pretty good lick. Of course, if it didn't make it through the ribs, it's obviously not going to make it through the denim in the back. I'm not trying to persuade you one way or another, as I've already said, but this isn't even in 12 gauge configuration. This is in 20 gauge. So like I said, and I'm not trying to be argumentative, but for the folks that's on the side of never use Birdshot, it's not going to do anything. I would say this test would certainly prove that wrong. Again, if you have a 410, I am not a big fan of Birdshot at all for home defense in a 410, but there's still good options in a 410. But for 20 gauge, to be able to come to the up here and just get just target loads, not self-defense rounds, not slugs, not buckshot, just normal Birdshot rounds that they had in pallets on the shelf that I can grab to use to defend myself and my family. I think it performed pretty well, but I don't want to rest my hat on just one test. I've got some more ribs. I've got another water jug. I've got some more denim. I'm going to set it up and try it again since we're up here, and we'll see the results of the next round as well. This is just your low brass number 6 shot. Like I said, it is steel, but that's what they had. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the low brass rounds they had. And also wanted to tell you that the initial, blast was good, but you can't just always watch about the initial blast. I understand speed and I understand velocity, but you also have to watch about, penetration, how the rounds perform. And what I mean by that is when we did the 410 slug, like I said, it was advertised like 1,800 feet a second. I mean, I know this 410 slug obviously a lot smaller than a 12 gauge, but still on paper it looked fantastic. Well, when it actually hit the target, it fragmented and it didn't really do what I thought it would do. But the 20 gauge, even though it was birdshot, it not only penetrated through the front of the ribs and made a gigantic hole, it had a lot of power hitting that water jug, so that was going to disrupt a lot of your internal organs, and it had enough power to hit the back. So I just want to say two more things right here. Number one is even though it didn't over penetrate, it done really well, and birdshot does so much better than like slugs or buckshot or bullets from your rifle or even your handgun, an actual bullet. Birdshot will still penetrate through interior walls. So don't think, well, I'm using this birdshot because it won't over penetrate and I can basically aim any direction. You still want to know where that round is, where it's aimed. If you got kids or somebody, loved ones beyond that wall, don't think just because it's a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge or even a 410, if it's birdshot, it's not going to over penetrate through interior walls, because I've made a video with that and it did indeed go through interior walls. But I'll talk more later. But anyway, I'll go ahead and just get to shooting here. But same target, same setup. Sorry, I'm getting eaten up by bugs. Meat target, denim, water jug, same thing as before. 20 gauge, up close and personal. Let's see what happens in this test. And again, we didn't touch anything. This is as is. So you can see, come here, see if you can come up here and capture this. You can actually see all the birdshot in this jug. So there is quite a bit of shot in the jug. The jug is, as you can obviously tell, is busted wide open. Check this out here. Nice, huge. I mean, I've got big hands, and I mean, that's, look at this. I don't know if you can zoom in there and see that, but that's it. That is no joke. I mean, my thumb fits in it. That is no joke. Ribs broke, shattered. And we always clean up our range. Ribs on the back. Actually, look at here. I think that is the wall. Let me see if I can get that out of there. Look at there. These are the ribs in the back. You see a little piece of shot right there. So it went a little, there's a little piece of steel shot there. Went a little farther this time. These ribs aren't all perfect, as nobody's, two intruders aren't going to be the same size. So one rib may be thicker than the other. One rib may be, a little heavier than the other. The bones may be bigger. The ribs may be like thicker here than they are up here. But you still see it went through ribs, water jugs, or one water jug. I take that back. I'm sorry, one water jug, and then in the back, and that is a complete pass through. It had lost a lot of energy, but still a complete pass through. But what I was going to say there when I was squatted down, I just wanted to get to shooting because I didn't want to hold you up too long. I don't want to ramble or go on, but I do want to tell you some real world experience and just try to help you along the way, because really this is all I do in this channel is just for fun, just to come up here and enjoy myself. And I've done this thing even before YouTube. I always like to experiment and learn, and so I just try to bring what little bit I know to you and just have fun, and hopefully you enjoy it too, and maybe gain a little bit of knowledge. But what I was going to say when I was talking about the 410 slug and different things, people say, well, it'll kill a deer. Well, just because something will kill a deer doesn't still mean that it's optimal for home defense, because and I've told you in other videos what I think about the 22 LR, and we've done some testing with the 22 LR. If that's what you're using or whatever, you know the pros and cons to whatever you're using. But I can assure you, and I can promise you, that I'm not saying it's ethical. I'm not saying it's the thing to do. I'm not advising this, but I am telling you that a 22 LR will kill a deer. So just because a 22 LR will kill a deer, that doesn't mean it's great for home defense, because that's the big thing you get on a slug with 410. They're like, yeah, but it kills a deer, you know. So just because something will kill a deer doesn't mean that's your best option. So if you have a 410, I mean, it's your choice. It's America. You do what you feel safe with. But I'm telling you, if you are defending your home or family with a 410, I can assure you there's better options than a slug. So if you're defending yourself with a 20 gauge and you're still going the road of a buckshot round, shell, I should say, I keep saying round, but shell, or a slug or something like that, then that's, you know, you obviously you know you're doing well as far as protection. But today, like I said, in 20 gauge, I'm not telling you it's the same as a slug. I'm not telling you it's the same as a buckshot round, or shell, I'm sorry. But what I am telling you is I can assure you that the school of thought, and I've heard people that I really like, that I look up to, that I enjoy being around, good people, but they'll tell you that birdshot is absolutely useless for home defense. But now, again, is it the same as a slug? No. But is it absolutely useless? No, I don't think so. Like I said, especially if that's what you have, and especially if you're worried about, you know, over penetration, like I said, you know, it'll still go through interior walls, because I've done a video on that, and I'm telling you, birdshot will still go through interior walls, but still nothing like any of the other rounds. So if you're worried about over penetration, or if you got a 20 gauge and that's all you have, and birdshot's all available to you, and I know there's gonna be people that say, well, you should use this birdshot, like I mentioned, that birdshot, you use this round, that. I'm just telling you, I got what was on the shelf. It was birdshot, and in the words of Paul Harrell, you be the judge. But when I form my opinion, like I said, and it's all it is my opinion. So, and I'm not trying to persuade you. I get nothing out of this. I mean, whether you use 20 gauge, an AR or AK, is up to you. You know, it doesn't, you know, I'm not in the 20 gauge birdshot division where I make commission off of, but I just try to be honest with you and tell you, if it was me, would 20 gauge birdshot be my first choice? No. I'll tell you right off the bat, no. If I had a 20 gauge and I had it loaded with the rounds I did today, birdshot, would I still feel like it was capable and that I could safely defend my family and I could sleep well at night and be in assurance that everything's going to be okay if the situation arises? I call upon this to get the job done? Absolutely. And if I'm telling you I would defend my family with it, then you know that I think pretty well of the round. Again, my first choice, no. A capable choice. You be the judge. It's your life, it's your family, it's your decisions. But I feel these rounds would indeed be capable. And like I said, if this is what you have, this is the configuration you have, and you're worrying, is it going to be enough? Is it really useless? Can I defend my family? I would say yes. But anyway, appreciate you watching. May God bless you. I really appreciate all my friends. I have met some of the most wonderful people, and I don't mean to, you know, like I said, drag the video down or talk, you know, down to anybody. But like I said, when you get the comments of you talk too much, because I do enjoy this channel. I do enjoy talking, and I never want this to be a lecture or like I'm talking down to you. I want this to be a friendly visit, like neighbors coming over. You're up here in the woods shooting with me. We're having a good time, and we're just testing things and finding out the results for ourselves. But anyway, I wish you and yours the very best. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to clean up this range. May God bless you. If you would, do me a huge favor, like, share, and subscribe. The Kentucky Patriot, signing off.